This is a holiday gift guide that isn't sponsored. 2017 wants its video ideas back. So this weekend, I was putting together some shopping lists, and I realized that I basically had 3/4 of a full video, so I felt like, why not share it with you? Now, full disclosure, while this is not a sponsored video, some of the items that I'm gonna be talking about, I was sponsored by the various companies this year, but no company has any idea I'm making this, and again, no one has any input. These are just some of my legitimately favorite items of 2024 and beyond. First item is the Tungsten Cube. It makes a great gift. It's a little stocking stuffer, perhaps. First up, we're going to start with audio, and this is going to be a budget pick. These are AKG USB-C headphones. Now, these are technically designed for Samsung phones, although they should work with pretty much anything with a USB-C port. Look, the headphone jack is gone. It makes sense, at least for me, to always have a wired pair of USB-C headphones around, just because for me, I really care about that latency when it comes to like video editing. And while these sound decent, they're not gonna blow you away compared to some of the more expensive stuff. But for $20, it's a great little stocking stuffer, and honestly, it's great just to have packed in a little tech bag. Moving up the price band just a little bit, we have the Nothing Ear A's. MSRP is about $100, although you can find them for a little closer to $90 a lot of the time. A big reason why I like these is because they look great, but importantly, they're good all-around headphones. So they sound good, the active noise cancellation is pretty decent, the case is not massively large, and they also work well across Android, iOS, Mac, Windows, you name it. I like my stuff to work everywhere all the time. I'm always moving between devices.
All I heard is you like them because they're yellow.
That's only partially true. I also like them because they're clear. Plus, it sounds nice. Now, if you get a little bit more discretionary income, my personal favorite earbuds, my daily carries, are the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. We'll just get the elephant out of the room first. Elephant out of the room? These look like absolute shameless AirPods knockoffs, especially in the white colorway. But they've got good battery life, pretty solid active noise canceling, but there's one reason and one reason only why I really like these. The audio quality is phenomenal. They sound like uncompromised headphones. As soon as I listened to these, I was like, oh, every other earbud I've ever tried sounds bad. Yeah, I get it. You're using $250 headphones that look like you're wearing knockoff AirPods, but I promise you, if you ever listen to these things, for me, it was an instant sale. I have not looked back since.
They are also on sale right now for $175, period.
Oh, okay, cool. They're $175, just buy them. This next item, I will freely admit, is a luxury pick that is completely irrelevant for most people, but I absolutely love them. The Focal Bathyes headphones. These are the best do-it-all headphones. So, first of all, I think they look really lovely. They work totally fine over Bluetooth. They do have an aux, but I actually mostly use them as USB-C. So they do have a built-in DAC here. These are the best sounding USB-C native headphones I have ever tried, and it's not particularly close. Pretty good noise cancellation. I wouldn't get them just to travel on planes and stuff. The audio quality from these, it's not perfect if you get into audiophile conversations. I'm gonna be here all day and someone's gonna yell at me in the comments that your Sennheiser blah 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 is gonna be better. Yeah, of course. But as far as headphones that have a native USB-C port on them, I like these because these actually tend to be what I use to edit videos on. I think that these are like $700, I think.
They are $700.
Yeah, they're $700. Again, luxurious headphones, not for everybody. I'm very fortunate that I have a pair, but these are my go-to headphones. Now, we're talking about audio. We're talking about stuff that I use on a regular basis. There have been a couple of items that have come out over the last couple of years that have really changed the way that I work. And one of which is the DJI Pocket 3, as well as the DJI mic. As you might imagine, I make a lot of videos. And traditionally, when we're here in the studio, we can use our big Sony cameras and all this kind of crazy stuff. That's great. Obviously, this looks very lovely. But I travel with these in my backpack 24/7. And the DJI Pocket 3 is just a little gimbal camera. Now, there are some accessories, so it actually has the kit where you have a little battery that you can just kind of click in, as well as you have the little tripod which you can attach to it. But I can't tell you how many videos I've shot this year with this exact setup. And I will tell you that I have never gotten one comment of, ew, that image quality is bad. So it's obviously not going to look quite as nice as something like our Sony cameras. The fact that this is a handheld camera, super easy, and if I want to, I can just set it down, move around, and the camera will track me. It is terrific. It's great for getting walk and talks. It's great for vlogging. Well, actually, how much do these cost right now? I know that they were out of stock for a while.
They're back in stock. You can get this kit for $519.
Sometimes I've seen these things on sale because one of the kits that also comes with one of the DJI mics, I just don't like the mic 2. If I'm honest with you, the mic 2 doesn't sound good. I actually still use the original DJI mic 1. Now, if you ever see me chilling with a DJI mic on my chest, like every short and like half my videos these days, these mics sound terrific. They record locally. They also have a little receiver in your like USB-C, so you can run it directly into like a phone or a device or whatever. In fact, actually, I think about the Fisker Ocean video I shot earlier this year. Almost that entire thing was shot on this DJI. Not everyone's a content creator. This is not gonna be a replacement for like a GoPro or something. But if you are a content creator, you can legitimately get these 2 items and have a great setup that will do everything that you need basically all the time. And now you're listening to what it sounds like to record with the DJI Mic 1. It sounds to me really not too far off of our much more expensive lav mics that we use. And yeah, you gotta deal with the kind of goofy looking mic, or you could do a TikTok and hold it like this. Not gonna say that I have like a favorite item of the video. I have a favorite item of the video. But like these would be really high up there. Now let's move on to gaming. So there's one very clear recommendation I have. It will be a surprise to exactly no one watching this video who knows Austin Evans, which is one of my favorite gaming handhelds for some time, the Nintendo Switch Lite.
Why?
Hear me out here, hear me out. Switch 2 is coming at some point, probably for like $400. You can still buy a Switch Lite for $200. I will grant you that the screen on this is not amazing compared to like the Switch OLED or whatever, but for $200, this thing is so good. Like there's so many games that are still terrific on the Switch. The Switch is still getting games. I like something small where I can just toss in my bag and not think about it. But something that I do think about when I toss in my bag is the big chungus, Steam Deck. There have been a lot of Windows handhelds that have launched over the last couple of years, but nothing out Steam Deck's the Steam Deck. My personal Steam Deck is the Steam Deck OLED. So if you want to get just into a Steam Deck, you're not totally convinced that you really want it, or maybe you're getting it as a gift, get the regular LCD Steam Deck. So you can get the 256 gig LCD model directly from Valve for $400, although I will say that you can get them refurbished. We've actually done a couple videos on the refurbished Steam Decks. I will say that the OLED is a very nice quality of life update. It runs just a little bit faster. The screen is so much better. It's got actually a substantially larger battery. I was a very big skeptic of the Steam Deck when it first came out. I was a Switch Lite boy, and this thing was like freaking huge. Toward the, I don't know, maybe beginning of 2023 or whatever, I started kind of playing around with it a little bit more. And I realized that it does fill this niche in my life of kind of doing what I wish that the Switch would do in 2024, which is play modern AAA games. Not a big surprise, I think everyone likes the Steam Deck, but definitely my favorite gaming handheld. Now, my next gaming pick is a little bit of a wild card, and in fact, I've talked about this. This is not a new device, been out for a couple of years, but it is the Analogue Pocket. So the Analogue Pocket is a little different than a lot of the emulators that are out there. I know like the Aya Neo DMG is a really cool little Android-powered device, but what makes the Pocket different is that this is an FPGA. Essentially what it means is that it is emulating in hardware classic Game Boy games. So it will play Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. You also can get some adapters to play a bunch of other titles like Neo Geo. I think you can do Game Gear. I prefer playing with the real cartridges. I like playing with the terrific screen here. The fact that you've got USB-C power, it still has all the stuff, like you can actually connect like a link cable to it and like actually trade and stuff. For a while, these were really hard to get your hands on. And if you go to the Analogue site, they still go in and out of stock. So as we're recording this video, the black one's in stock, but like the white one and a lot of the other colorways aren't. So Analogue Pocket, it's a little bit pricey, but I will tell you that this thing, if I want to play a retro game, especially a Game Boy game, this is my go-to 100% of the time. Oh, and also, I'll find a link for it. This is just a little water-filled case. It has like extra slots for like games and whatnot. I actually think this is mostly made for a DS, but it fits the Analogue Pocket really well. Okay, hear me out on this before you judge. The PlayStation 5. Okay, so this is a PS5, not a Pro. In fact, this is actually an older PS5. So this is a PS5 1200, not a Slim. Let me explain. If you want to buy a PS5 right now at the end of 2024, you got $450 for the regular model, $500 for the disc model, and you have $700 for the PS5 Pro. The Pro is a professional option for people who have more money than sense. The regular PS5 Slim is totally fine, but honestly, it's not a really big upgrade over something like the 1200. This is specifically a refurbished PS5 that I purchased for $350 directly from Sony. You can check that video out if you'd like to know more. This is a killer deal. It's only a little bit more expensive than a Series S, and it has basically all the goodness of a current generation console without the disk drive, which, you know, obviously you can spend an extra $50 if you want that. The only caveat to recommending this completely wholeheartedly is that the PS5 does go on sale. I would buy a Slim if it's only a $25 difference, but if you're talking about a $100 difference, which is what the normal difference between the refurbished and the new Slim is, get the 1200 all day long. Next, let's talk about some of my general recommendations, starting with the LTT Precision Screwdriver. Full transparency, Linus is a friend of mine. He did send out a screwdriver. I liked it so much, I bought several for the office and for myself at home. I spend a lot of time working with tech and taking things apart. This little precision screwdriver is so cool. First of all, it is incredibly smooth. You also have built-in bit storage, so you have a bunch of different bits that are all magnetized, but also you can just take the lid off. All the bits will just magnetize into here, and it's actually reasonably priced. So the screwdriver itself is 30 bucks, the bit set is 30, combo is 50 bucks. I know that the bit set has been sold out, so again, some of this stuff may or may not be around by the time you're watching this video. Now the iFixit kit is also great. We have one of those. I've used one for a long time. It's hard for me to recommend something that Linus makes with a straight face, but this is the best item that the LTT crew have ever cooked up. Like, I legitimately love this thing. If you've seen any of our console teardown videos or anything, you've seen this thing all over the place the last couple of months. Like, highly, highly recommend. Something else I found myself really enjoying is the new Kindle Paperwhite. So this guy's like 150, 160 bucks, certainly not cheap, but the screen is terrific, the backlight's terrific, the fact that you can go warmer on it, so if you want to change the actual sort of color temperature of the display. Now, there are a lot of options for ebook readers. There's also a lot of like e-ink tablets, some of which I've taken a look at on the channel. What I like about Kindle is, first of all, I've always bought my books inside the Kindle app, so it's just nice to have. Just like one of those things where I don't want to read on an iPad. I would rather read with something like e-ink that looks a lot nicer. So like, if I'm thinking about, oh, am I gonna have time to read a book or something? Maybe, maybe not. I'll just throw it in my bag because it's small enough that it doesn't matter. This next one requires a little bit of explanation. This is a MacBook Air. Now, unless you really like someone, I wouldn't recommend buying them a MacBook. But if you're looking for a laptop in the sub $800 range, the MacBook is a really easy recommendation. So there's actually two MacBooks that I would recommend. The one that I did an entire video on earlier this year is the M1 MacBook Air. This is the 2020 model. Walmart have had these on sale for several months now for 650 bucks. And I would argue that it is probably the best $650 laptop you can find. Now, the MacBook Airs have recently been refreshed with 16 gigs of RAM, which has kind of squished the range. So because of that, you can actually now find M2 MacBook Airs for about $800. Again, I'm not really recommending this as a gift, much more so of a, hey, do you want a surprisingly really solid laptop that, even though it might be a couple of years old, still feels way better than most Windows laptops? This is a really easy one. The Anker Nano. This little guy is a 65 watt USB-C charger, has the built-in prongs. It's one of those things that, again, lives in my bag all the time. You've got two USB-C as well as a USB-A. Every device that I ever take with me can be charged with the 65 watt adapter. I don't carry around some huge heavy gaming laptop or something that needs a ton of power. The main reason I bring it up is actually that these have gotten really cheap. Last I checked on Amazon, these are like 30 bucks, 35 bucks or something right now.
Yeah.
Now, all of this, my friends, brings me to the final item, and I'm gonna say this one is the best for last, because this is my favorite piece of tech from 2024. And I think technically it came out last year, but it doesn't matter. The Meta Ray-Bans. Again, full disclosure, I have done some work with Meta on these Ray-Bans, but they have no idea I'm making this video, and I could not say this any more sincerely. I absolutely love these glasses. First of all, they're just like regular Ray-Bans. You know, they're maybe slightly chunkier than like normal Wayfarers, but to me, they don't look that different. I have these with the transition lenses. So I need glasses, and I don't normally wear regular sunglasses. So the fact that when I step outside, these lenses automatically tint themselves, and they are also just my regular prescription, is such a win. These are especially great for the weekends for me. So if we're gonna be going to like a theme park or doing a lot of stuff that's indoors and outdoors, the fact that they automatically tint and the tint sort of goes away automatically after a couple minutes when you go in and outside is great. The fact that I can take a call or listen to some music or whatever while I'm in the car, and the kids listen to Coco Melon and I'm listening to Frank Ocean or whatever, it's really nice. But on top of that, the cameras are really decent. I've gotten so many photos and videos this year that I would not have gotten if I would have stopped, pulled my phone out, like literally just go up here, boom, I took a photo. On top of that, the Meta AI stuff has gotten a lot better. It's also just nice to just have it look at stuff and describe what it is. They are honestly my favorite piece of tech of the year. And they have gotten so much better this year with all the features. Like every couple of months, they have brought out more and more features. And just talking with the Meta crew about them, I feel good about the future of this product. Hopefully you found this little gift guide helpful. It's really some of my absolute favorite tech of the year. As always, I'll have links to as many of these things as possible in the description below. And while you're there, make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring that ding-a-ling button if you found this helpful. And until next time, my friends, 2017 is calling. Go work out and make 3-minute videos again.